Escaping the wild spring wind in Tassie, Mick and I headed to the Vic High Country to ride a modified version of the Alpine Pints and Pizza route. Unlike our usual rides, we left our camping and cooking gear at home and tried out some flashpacking. A bed for our heads and a kettle for our coffee each morning. In total, we covered 440 kilometres and 6,390 metres of climbing, about the recommended ratio. Come and join Mick and I as we go bikepacking in Victoria.
We flew from Hobart into Melbourne and made our way to Off Course Bike Shop, where we built up our bikes. They were really awesome. My derailleur got a bit of a bend in it and they just quickly put it on the stand. Really grateful to them for that.
We popped our bikes on a train in Melbourne and ventured up to Benalla.
Next stop.
We stayed the night, explored town, stocked up on a few supplies and got an early start the following day. Before leaving, we stopped at the first of many bakeries of the trip, as it would be a shop-free day on the bikes.
It's day one of the Alpine Pints and Pizza route. We're going to take 5 days to ride it, just so I've got time to film it. It was a bit cold this morning, 2 degrees when we set off from Benalla. Gravel's really good condition. Cracking day. Today we're heading to Whitefield, bit of a bumpy section. It's about 95k and about 1,400 metres of climbing. We've had to put a modification in there because of the alleged police killer Desi Freeman, and one of the national parks that we're supposed to go through is shut off, so we've got a couple of detours in place.
The landscape set the scene for the rest of the route. Wattle in flower, the smell of eucalypts and plenty of critter spotting. With a jet boil at home, evenings were a bit different this ride. We started with the steak and wine special at the Whitefield pub.
We're doing things a little bit different this time. No cooking gear, no tent. We're staying in pubs and cabins along the way and going to pubs in the evening to have food. Just got to be wary that we don't get too used to it. The only thing we are carrying with us is coffee, of course, so we can have our coffee every morning. Today we're riding from Whitefield to Bright. It's about 100k. For about half of it today, we're not following the original route because Mount Buffalo National Park is still closed.
And we are just at an intersection and we are going to need to deviate because the road that we were originally going to take is closed for Desi related reasons. So we're going to travel into Myrtleford on the bitumen as a DESI avoidance strategy. Following the rail trail into Bright, we partook in the obligatory beer and pizza. The plan was to stay in town for 2 nights and do a day loop to Mount Beauty the next day. We left most of our gear at our accommodation for a day ride to Mount Beauty via the back road. It was the pinchiest and possibly the prettiest riding of the trip. Mick nearly lost a crucial piece of equipment with the vibrations from the sometimes steep descent breaking his action camera mount. Luckily it survived with only a scratch on the rear screen. The requisite bakery stop and coffee were had before returning via the sealed Toowoomba Gap Road. All up, it was about 72 k's and 1,350 metres of climbing.
Day 4. We left Bright this morning about 7 o'clock. It was a pretty fresh one. And we've taken a detour today up Mount Papunka Road, around the back of Mount Papunka, and we'll head down into Myrtleford. We're at about 970, 980 metres now. We've got a bit of a flat bit before we start doing the descent down into Myrtleford.
After leaving Myrtleford, the vegetation began to change. Drier, sparser and sandier.
It's been so good having a bed each night rather than packing a tent. Could become, Dan said, don't get too used to it. It could become the new norm. It won't though, it won't.
Unknown to us, it was Oktoberfest in Beechworth and things were a bit lively. We caught up with an old friend who we first met on the bikes on the side of the road in Canada.
Last day of the ride. We stayed in Beechworth last night.
A quick morning coffee and we left, following a bike path for the first 10 kilometres.
Now today we're riding to Chiltern. It's about 77k. I forgot to fill up my water bottles, which is always awesome, so I've only got a litre, but I think there's a coffee stop in El Dorado, so we should be good, or I should be good. That little bit of section then was really loose gravel, dandied well to stay on a bike on one of the descents. How was that, Dee?
Oh, a bit loose.
Yeah, how many times did you almost come off?
Oh, it didn't come off.
Almost.
Oh, phew.
She was skidding down. She did well. He's got some wheel spin. Oh.
Some looser than expected riding and a coffee stop in El Dorado, and we continued along the final stretch. We spent the night in Chiltern, ready for the early train back to Melbourne the following day. We rode our bikes on some nice gravel roads, went up and down some hills. We ate good food and drank good beer and had a stellar time. 5 stars for the Alpine Pints and Pizza route.